Since 2020, I have talked with thousands of loan originators from Spokane, Washington to Key West, Florida, and everywhere in between. Some of them are looking for coaching help. Some of them are looking for career advice. Some of them just want to say hi and let us know that they dig the content that we do. But along these thousands of conversations, there are about 5 things that originators say as a whole that, let's be honest, rub me the wrong way. They get under my skin. They make me want to pull my hair out, well, if I had any hair. In today's episode, we're going to turn those 5 things into content, into learning lessons, into something that you too can say, uh-oh, am I that person? Am I saying those things? Because I don't want to be annoying. Look, you're going to have to trust me on this one. It's not going to suck. Check this out. They don't teach this shit in school, but they should. Welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast, hosted by me, Dustin Owen, one of the most influential people in the mortgage industry, along with my friends who've lived it, built it, failed at it, fixed it, and scaled it. This is not a show just for mortgage professionals. This is everything I learned because I became a mortgage loan originator. This is the Loan Officer Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and with me from the TLOP team, I got my right-hand man, Marketing Mike, and our producer extraordinaire, you call her Special K, we call her Karina Mojica.
Nailed it.
Hi, twinsies.
What's up?
We just woke up today and said, let's look the same.
Yeah. Like as Biggie said, I grew up a screw up.
Hey.
Yeah, I grew up a screw up. I woke up wanting to look like Mike.
You be like Mike. It's
Be
okay.
like Mike. I
You can be
want to look like Mike. Nah, man, we're down to like last couple weeks until the big event.
Yeah, man.
We got to rock the apparel. You know what's really
I'm
cool?
excited.
Is going to see, we have extras
Yes.
of these super soft,
They are.
super comfortable
So nice.
t-shirt hoodies.
Yep.
I'm curious how we're going to like give these away. Are we going to put them in some of the swag bags? Maybe our coaches get them. Maybe our VIPs get them.
Right.
Maybe our sponsors get them.
Yeah.
But yes, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you can notice Mike and I showed up at the office dressed alike because we're both rocking our TLOP Unite Caribbean Takeover swag.
Countdown.
Countdown
We're
begins.
there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when this episode drops. I'm guessing just based on how the sales have been going, 3 cabins, maybe. Maybe. At this standpoint, we may be begging Royal Caribbean to slide us an extra cabin or 2.
Absolutely.
I always tell people, look, if you're interested, there's a good chance we can make room for you. But because this is airing 30 days before the actual event leaves Port Canaveral for the Bahamas, I don't know if we have space for you, but I'd hate for you to miss out. So if you're interested in a last-minute mortgage sales conference because you want to come network and mastermind with 150 cool-ass mortgage professionals, this event was designed for you. You're just a little bit late to the party, but maybe you're not so late that we're going to leave you at the dock. Go to our website, tloponline.com. The event is called Unite. Click the Unite tab. From there, you can get the information. You can see if we're sold out. And quite honestly, if we do show us being sold out, still email me. I know some people I may be able to squeeze you in. No promises. do@tloponline.com.
Yerp.
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 I only know Yerp from Rocky at MLO Study Buddy. Is that... Well, like, did he coin that, or was that something that was pretty popular?
I don't know. I think I've always kind of said that. It's probably him too. Yeah. Yerp.
Yeah, you know, I used to watch Storage Wars, and I think one of the auction
cool
guys,
show, man.
it was. Then it got kind of a little bit tired, like many things.
Yeah.
But anyhow, one of the auction guys, I think his call when he wanted to place a bid was Europe.
Yerp.
Yeah, not Europe, not like the continent, but like Europe.
YURP.
YURP.
Right.
Okay. Europe is not one of the 5 things that gets under my skin. It's not, but we're going to talk about 5 things.
I'm excited because I think I'm just going to be comedic relief for you. I feel like you're going to get hot.
Well, I'm going to get fired up.
Okay.
I'm going to get fired up, but I need you all to play your roles and ask questions, prod the bear, poke me a little bit.
Don't talk too much, Karina.
And get me to, expand or elaborate.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's more than 5.
Okay.
Right. I'm sure like many people, like you spend enough time doing something, right? You spend 20 years doing one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say originating loans. I can guarantee there's 5 things that I kind of don't like about originating loans. There's 5 things that I don't like about talking to borrowers.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 things I don't like about having to have conversation with realtors. And many times when it comes to the loan files, I can predict the 5 things on every file that I'm going to allow annoy me. And by the way, I say allow. I learned that in therapy. I had a therapist, mental health counselor that I used to seek guidance from and counsel from, who we had me write down. Well, I wrote it down, but it was his suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
When I get angry, I lose. And when I get angry, I lose was written on like a legal pad of paper I used to carry everywhere as my to-do list. And he was the one that first introduced me to the concept that I choose to get angry.
Mm.
Now, easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
That's a chemical reaction. Correct.
Yeah,
emotional outburst. But I've also learned, the older I've gotten, is that I show all negative emotions through anger. So if I get afraid, I get angry.
Mm-hmm.
If I get anxious, I get angry. So people used to be like, oh, man, you never have anxiety. I'm like, well, when I drink, I do. Like, the next day's pretty bad.
Yeah, right.
But no, I don't worry. I said, but I get anxious about not being home in time. I get anxious about letting people down. I get anxious. But I said, unfortunately, my anxiety shows up in anger. So he and I had this saying, like, when I get angry, I lose. So there's definitely things about my career. I'm like, oh my God, that makes me angry.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I started hiring him and seeking his advice, we changed it from that makes me angry to I allow that to make me angry.
Nice.
But yes, there are definitely things within doing a loan that I allow make me angry. There's definitely parts of talking with borrowers that I allow make me angry. There's definitely parts of dealing with real estate agents that I allow make me angry.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us know what they are. We can predict the questions. And most of the questions don't come from a place of ill will. They're not coming from a place of someone trying to be annoying or get under your skin. They're typically coming from a place of just not knowing better, right? Misunderstanding. You use the word ignorance in the right term. Like, yeah, you're just not educated in the matter. You don't have experience. So I don't want anyone to take offense. This episode is meant to be fun. It's meant to make you laugh a little bit. And occasionally there's going to be a little bit of a gut punch, kidney shot.
Where you say, oh my gosh, that's me.
Yes.
Like, right?
Oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, that's me. He's talking about me right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. But guess what? We all were you.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen a 17-year-old acting like a 17-year-old, Karina? And you said, oh my God, my friends and I used to act that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you seen a young parent, first-time parent, act a certain way or talk a certain way? You're just wait until they get 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Right? Or for me, I'm like, wait till they get 18 and 21.
Yeah.
But you look back, it's not their fault.
No.
They just haven't gained the exposure, the experience.
Inexperience.
Yeah. So don't take offense to any of this, but there's definitely 5 learning lessons that I want mortgage professionals to take from today's episode.
Way to reframe it.
Yeah, that's what we're going at.
Reframe it.
Yeah. But yes, they do get under my skin. I allow that to happen. That's a me problem, not a you problem.
Right.
I want you to continue calling me and asking me for my advice. I want you to consistently ask to talk to you about our coaching options. I want you succeeding in this industry because you, the person watching or tuning in, you represent the future of mortgage lending. And if you don't represent it, then it must mean you're leading it and you're shaping it, right? Because maybe you, like me, only have 5, 7, or 9 years left, but that means it's your responsibility to lead this place better than you found it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to learn. I also want you to laugh. I want you to smile. And I want you to take one thing away that you're like, you know what? Going forward, I'll never be that way.
Right.
And he gave me a good reason why. But before we do any of this, guess what?
Got to pay some bills.
We got to pay some bills. So we're going to take a quick pause so Karina can cut in an advertisement from today's show sponsor. Check this out. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed in just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs, and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year, and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice, and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the Rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower Mortgage, the momentum is real. All right, so we're back. And we're back. Yeah, and we're back. We should get like a whole entire t-shirt.
Yeah.
That it just says like, and we're back.
And on the back, it'll say, we're back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Oh, he'll be here all day.
Yep.
He will be here all day. It's funny. Back in the day, JC and I had the old school Loan Officer podcast t-shirts. In the back, we had like, they don't teach this shit in school, or we had like what's poppin'.
Yeah, I've seen
right?
that.
Because that's
cool.
like JC's catchphrase.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have him on the cruise with us.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
gonna be cool. That's gonna be very
like
nice.
he's gonna be on there. He and I are gonna be podcasting together.
Sipping some Don Julio.
He will.
You know he
Yeah,
will.
he
Yeah.
will. I'm gonna be 30 days from my race, so I'm
Yeah.
probably not gonna be turned up.
Sober
to go.
Sally.
That's,
I'll be middle of the field.
debatable.
I'll be professional because we are working the event, Karina.
Yeah, I had to tell the group this on last week. I had to remind them all that,
Right.
hey, this is our event. We are not guests. We are hosts.
That's right, Karina.
But no, I think I
Fine.
may choose a night to have 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah.
And that'll be probably my last night drinking before my race. 'Cause,
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll be about 30 days out at that standpoint.
You just
but-
biked 70 miles.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, this last 25 sucked donkey butt.
Insane.
Absolute donkey butt. And you got to think my race is going to be 112 miles. So me going to 70, I have to build 10 miles a week to get to at least doing a century ride.
I could
100.
barely drive my car that far, Dio.
Yeah.
My butt starts to hurt,
No,
and I'm on a rest
seriously.
stop.
Yeah. So imagine how your butt hurts sitting in a bike saddle for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably get up and do at least 2 century rides. I don't know if I ever do the full 112. I think I'll do the full 112 when I'm doing the race.
Yeah.
And I won't run more than 18. Like I mean the race is 26.2.
Yeah.
But in training I won't do more than 18 miles
Oh.
on my feet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do a lot of swimming right now because it's all about getting the endurance work in. It's all a matter of how many hours am I making my body exercise per week, getting that volume up, and then you trust by race day that your body will be ready to perform, especially because the last 2 weeks I'll be tapering, which means my workouts will become a lot less stressful, less hours, less volume, so that when race day comes, my body
Did you have a mentor or a trainer that taught you all of this? Like how to,
Yes.
when you're training hard, when you're tapering?
Yes,
Okay.
everything we coach and teach on this podcast
Yeah.
and that we do through T-Labs Originator Coaching,
Yeah.
the same shit applies in all facets of life.
Yeah.
So it started with, I asked 2 guys that I know really well who both completed an Ironman for all of their advice.
Nice.
Right? I got some free advice from actually my wife's cousins. Shout out Jimmy and John.
Okay, cool.
Then I downloaded a PDF. Then I watched YouTube videos. Then I got there early and I asked a ton of questions. Then I did my first race.
How many Ironmans have you done?
Well, this is my first full Ironman.
Oh, wow.
I've done 4 halves.
Oh, I didn't
So-
know that. I thought you've done a full already.
No.
Wow.
No, a full's a real deal. It's
Yeah, seriously.
It's a game changer in terms of how you train, how you prepare. We're going down a rabbit hole right now.
No, I
but
know.
I've done 4 70.3s. You can prepare for a 70.3 in about 16 weeks.
Wow.
You need, depending on where you are fitness-wise, anywhere between 6 months to 18 months to get ready for a full Ironman. Now,
Wow.
if you're coming off of doing a 70.3, No, you can just go ahead and extend your training by 16 weeks and get ready for a full, and possibly even 12 weeks to get ready for a full.
Okay.
But if you're going from couch to doing a full Ironman,
yeah, I mean,
give yourself a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
give yourself a year.
That's nuts.
But no, I did a 70.3 a year every year starting in 2021. My commitment to my wife and my daughter was I wouldn't sign up to a full until she graduated high school because of the time commitment. You got to think, I'm gonna leave my house on Saturday at 5 a.m. I'm not gonna get home till 2 p.m.
Yeah, and you're working full time.
Yeah, but that's my Saturday. I get home. Guess what I want to do? Shower my body, clean my equipment, eat a bunch of food, and lay on the couch and do nothing until I go to bed at 8:30 because I have to get up on Sunday and go run 3 hours.
Wow.
Right?
That's
so
insane.
it's a big time commitment. Right now, I'm getting up at 4:45 to go train for an hour and a half to 2 hours before I shower and come to the office.
Right.
And this is every day. Like this is an everyday occurrence, and it's only going to get ramped up the next 10 weeks. So
that's cool. All right. So that's my bad. That was my bad.
Yeah, we went to a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, if you didn't know, yes, I'm doing an Ironman in Portugal. The date is October 17th. I post about it pretty frequently on Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you're following at the Lone Star Podcast on Instagram, that's where you'll probably follow my journey. Mike probably saw one of my posts over the weekend.
Sure did.
Where I posted my 70-mile ride. That's how we went down that rabbit hole. One more quick rabbit hole that I need to go down, and we'll be totally done. Last episode, I gave a shout out to Tanner Floyd and his product Mabel's, Mabls. Look it up. It's pretty awesome, loan officers. He is looking for 10 originators to beta test this software that you use as a loan officer to partner with realtors to bring value to the realtor as well as to home buyers. The value is this. At the end of the day, home buyers are qualified for a monthly payment. They're not qualified for a purchase price. Yet every search platform is set up to search for homes based on sales price. So Tanner and his business partner, Daryl, flipped the script. And they said, we're going to build a search platform where home buyers can search based on monthly payment. So the goal is that loan officers pay for this service. They bring it to realtors. Realtors and loan officers make it available to their home buyers and allows them to differentiate themselves, separate themselves, but also allows them to convert more leads as well as put a fence around their home buyers so they don't lose home buyers leaking out to Zillow or Redfin or one of those other websites.
Yeah.
But the beta test, and I misspoke about this last episode.
Right.
Okay. Texas, Arizona, Nevada, Tennessee, Georgia. So if you are a loan originator in Georgia or Tennessee or Arizona or Nevada or Texas, that's where they currently need 10 LOs to come beta test this product and this service for free. It's no cost to you. It'll only help you and your business. It'll bring value to realtors and make realtors want to meet you.
Yeah.
If you're interested, email me directly, do@tloponline.com. That's my email address, D as in Dustin, O as in Owen, do@tloponline.com. The product, the company is Mabel's, Mabls. Just put in the subject line Mabel's and be like, hey, Do, I'd love to be a part of Tanner's beta test group. I originate in, again, those states, because I got it wrong last episode. I want to get it right this time. Georgia and Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, Nevada.
Yep. Solid.
Whew. There we go.
Great job.
Now we can get on to the show.
Let's hit it.
All right, let's hit it quick.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. Drum roll, please.
I'm ready.
Okay. When someone tells me, and this just happened, and it's not this guy's fault. He's a young originator. He's only been in the business for like 2 months.
Okay.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dio, when I meet with realtors, I tell them that I got over 100 lenders that I can send loans to. And I'm like, stop. And I didn't say it nicely. I'm like, stop. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, you're supposed to have 100 lenders, or you're supposed to have hundreds of products. You're supposed to be able to serve. If you're a full-time mortgage professional, whether it's a $40,000 USDA condo or it's a loan for a $3 million professional athlete, you should have a product and options. I said, and here's the thing. It's great that you have 100 lenders to choose from if you're a broker. I'm guaranteeing you, if you're a top producer, you're probably only using 3 to 5 max. It's not scalable to try to use 100. 3 to 5 max. And additionally, when you tell a referral source you have hundreds of lenders, or better yet, you're not a broker, but you work for one of the largest IMBs in the country. You're like, we have all of these products. To me, that's like going up to a potential significant other, right? You're going to encounter a relationship and you're like, hey, Mike, you know, when you date me, I won't beat you.
That should be a given.
That should be a given. You're supposed to not beat your spouse.
Yeah,
okay?
Right.
You're whether it's verbal or physical.
So what's something else they could say as their differentiator? Because that's what he's probably trying to do is create a differentiator.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like you're supposed to have lots of products.
Yeah.
Like you're a full-time mortgage professional. This is your career.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust that you have access to lots of products.
Yeah.
Oh, what should they do?
Yeah. What can they do? What can they say instead?
Well, what they can do is talk about how they help agents like them win. Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm talking realtors. It could be a financial advisor. It could be a CPA.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a divorce attorney. Whatever the case may be, when you're trying to build a relationship with somebody, like we coach this and teach this over at T-Lop's Originator Coaching. You make it about them, not about you.
Yep.
But early on in someone's career, they don't know that yet, right? So they just want to lead with whatever they got out of the 30-minute onboarding training video that they watched, and they're like, this company's a great company to work for because we can send loans to over 100 different lenders.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but that's not what sells.
That's not the pitch, dog.
I mean, marketing departments and a lot of mortgage companies probably loathe me because I will tell them that their marketing is pretty, but it doesn't make the phone ring.
Mm-hmm.
That if loan officers want to be successful, do the opposite of what their marketing department is telling them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're like, what? I'm like, it's not against you. It's just they haven't been trained. They haven't been coached. They haven't been walked through.
Right.
A lot of times, marketing departments speak a language that only speaks to other mortgage professionals. And maybe they're supposed to because maybe they're trying to recruit new branches. And maybe saying I have 100 lenders is great to say on the recruiting trail.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to recruit a loan officer, especially a loan officer who maybe is coming from an environment where they don't have all those products, then maybe it sounds sexy as hell to say. But if you're trying to tell me why I should work with you and why I should partner with you, please do not start with because I can send, I have access to hundreds of investors or hundreds of lenders.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with products you're supposed to.
Makes
you know what
sense.
you can put in that bucket? And this is not one of the 10. This is a bonus item.
Okay.
Not one of the 10. When you talk about, I give great service.
Yeah.
Okay. What does great service mean? It's going to change from literally counterparty to counterparty.
And I sure hope you give great service.
Yes, correct. That again, if the first analogy was, hey, you should date me because I won't beat you.
Yeah.
This one would be, you should date me because I won't cheat on you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So saying I have lots of products and I give great service is like saying when you date me, I promise not to beat you or cheat on you. You're supposed to. Right.
Right.
It's kind of like, you have any buddies that are like, oh, I'm a great dad. Like, I babysit my kids every Saturday.
You babysit?
Like, you're babysitting?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah,
I
dog.
love
Like
that.
that's your job.
Yeah.
Like, you're a dad.
Right.
There's no babysitting your kids.
That's a given.
Yeah, you're dadding.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're living the dad like you're supposed to.
So you got 100 products. You're loan officering.
What
are you doing? What are you saying right now?
Yeah, you're supposed
I get it.
to.
I'm down with that one. I'm down with that one.
So okay, second one.
Okay.
That comes under my skin. And this one came from a conversation with someone 20 plus years in the business. This dude makes $400,000 plus a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
T-Lop Unite is not your typical mortgage event. This is the first ever T-Lop cruise experience built exclusively for originators. And for 4 days, it's not about the speakers, it's about you. We're talking breakout strategy sessions, real conversations, curated events, and uninterrupted access to a community that helps you grow. If you're serious about taking your career to the next level, this is where you need to be. Space is limited and the price is right. So click the link now and learn more.
my processor can't talk to my clients.
Okay. That's kind of weird.
No, but it's not that the processor doesn't know how to speak.
Right.
It's not like he or she's deaf and mute. It's he will not allow the processor to speak with the borrower because only he can speak to the borrower because no one can speak to his borrowers as good as he does. Okay, cool. I don't disagree with the logic behind it, but I do disagree with the strategy behind it.
Right.
Logically, I can 100% see where someone's like, no one cares as much as me. They probably don't. No one has more invested than I do. They probably don't. You're 100% right. No one cares as much as you. No one knows this person as well as you. No one has more to lose. No one has more to lose than I do if this transaction doesn't close. It's egg on my face. It's my relationship.
Yep.
The problem is that's not scalable.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if they need a return from 2022, like, isn't it okay for the processor to reach out?
It's okay for the processor to have a relationship. It's
Right.
okay with the processor to call and ask for documents. It's okay for the processor to have to overcome an objection. It's okay for the processor to do something in 24 hours, even though it took you or would have only taken you 2 hours to do it.
It's the only way to
It's
scale.
okay for the processor to be 80% as good as you are.
Yeah.
It's okay for the processor to say something at which point the client calls you and they complain. All of that is totally okay because all of that is normal business and it also allows you to shine. So let me walk you through the situation. A lot of originators, they have to be involved because it's the most important. So I say to them, well, is your processor competing against you to see who gives the best service? Or is your processor competing against the industry to see who gets the best service? Because I need your processor to be in the top 10% percentile of giving good customer service.
Yeah.
If your processor does or says something that the borrower or realtor wants to complain about, isn't it nice for them to have an outlet to vent? Isn't it nice to be a sounding board and to absorb that and to let them know they're being heard? Because you could have said the same exact thing. The problem is they didn't have anyone else to call to complain, so they didn't complain.
Yeah.
You giving them a platform to complain about is way easier on 1 in 20 files when you'll get that complaint than you trying to avoid the complaint, which is next to impossible to do because you're basically saying you're perfect, you never make mistakes, you always read the room right, you never misspeak, and you never, ask someone to do something when they're already annoyed about something totally different. Let your processor be a good processor. It doesn't mean you don't have a checklist. It doesn't mean you don't have a SOP. It doesn't mean that you don't inspect what you expect. Like I was telling this particular person, he's a coaching client. I was like, look, I'm not saying you don't ask the processor to carbon copy on the emails. I'm not saying that you don't once a week get with your processor and give him or her critique on their communication style. But what I'm saying is that once you lay your proper expectations, you explain how you want things done and why it's important. You should not be the one doing it going forward because it is not scalable.
Right.
So then I finally left the person with this. And this is the cold hard truth. Who's your client and who's your customer? He's like, elaborate for me. I said, this customer, this borrower that you care so much about, what percentage of your business is repeat business right now? What percentage of your referrals are referrals coming in from your past clients? Is it a third? Is it 20%? Is it 10%? Because the world that I come from and when I study this industry, as much as I want you all getting repeat business and getting past client referrals, and I'm coaching you to do so, I'm still looking at your pipelines. I'm still looking at your production reports. It's anywhere between 5 to 25% of your business. That's a customer. You just need your client to think you do a good job. What does a client have to do? Client is a referral source. Did you close on time? Did you do your status calls?
Yep.
Did you communicate appropriately? Were you available when they needed you? So the second most annoying thing that I hear is when an originator tells me that they have to do all of the communicating. Not that because that's their company policy. Now, sometimes it's company policy, whole different ball of wax.
Yeah.
But it's like because they think that they're the most important person and that without them, it wouldn't happen.
Dan Martell, buy your time back. I mean, anybody in that position, go read the book.
Buy back your time.
Yeah.
Dan Martell will tell you 80% done by somebody else is 100% awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll remind you, you're not in this business for one transaction and for one referral source. You're in this to do thousands of transactions and have hundreds of referral sources. you can't get better without empowering others to get good at their job.
Yep.
So my last analogy for those people who maybe still aren't picking up what I'm putting down, like I helped teach both my children how to drive, as did many people who are now in their 40s or 50s who have children. Do you not think it was nerve-wracking AF sitting in that passenger seat with a 15-year-old driving?
Yeah.
Yes. But if I ever wanted to allow my children to drive themselves to sporting events and drive themselves to work and drive themselves to school, I had to work through those 9 to 18 months.
Yeah, that's a solid analogy. That's
You
good.
have to work
like
through it with your counterparty. The answer wasn't, oh my God, my kids can't drive as good as me. They'll never be able to drive as good as me. They'll never drive then. The answer was, my kids do not drive as good as me, and I hope one day they do drive as good as me. But in the interim, I need to teach them how to drive because them being able to drive makes them independent. Them learning how to drive allows them to go work. Them working allows them to become a more well-rounded young adult. I mean, it's right. There's so many aspects that having that vehicle and that license to drive benefits.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that for 9 or 18 months, it was like the most cozy, thing happening. And yes, when my 17-year-old hit a car in a parking lot, there was a learning opportunity there, right? So there's still, when my 18-year-old got her first flat, there's a learning opportunity. It doesn't mean I've disappeared. I'm still their mentor, still their coach, but I'm out doing my own thing because it's how I scale. So that would be number 2.
Yep.
Number 3. Well, if I just had an assistant, I too would be a top producer. The number of times that I've been told that the thing holding someone back is that they don't have an assistant, absolute BS. I've lived it. I have coached it. I have ran it. Like, the assistant is not the reason why you're not a top producer, right? The reason why you're not a top producer is because you're not consistent. It's because you don't prioritize the right things. It's because you haven't given it enough time.
So if you're below 4 units a month, you don't need an assistant.
No, I tell people
You
all the time.
probably shouldn't be.
You can close 5 loans a month.
Yeah.
Which basically means you're generating roughly 30 referrals a month and be a full-time mortgage professional.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're working 32 hours a week or even 40 hours a week. You may be working 45 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
But many people, you just need to get better.
Yeah.
So if you're doing 5 loans a month and you're working 70 hours a week, get better.
Yeah.
Right? Create systems and processes. Create file flows. Even better controlling your calendar and setting proper expectations with referral sources and borrowers and becoming systematized is what allows you to buy back your time. So if you're closing 5 loans a month and you're working 70 hours a week, then, I would tell you, you don't need an assistant. You need to get better. Now, if you're closing 5 loans a month on your way to 10 and you haven't hired an assistant, WTF moment. Let's figure out who you need, what they're going to do, where to find them, and let's get them on your team.
Because then you're going from advisor phase to rainmaker.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But usually the complaints or the comments that get under my skin, they typically come from low producers.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who's doing 20 units a year, 30 units a year. And they look at it and say, well, of course, Megan is doing 120 units a year. She has 2 assistants.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, but if I walked you through Megan, Mike, Dustin, Barry, Jason, all these names, I walk you through their production. Dustin was doing 84 units and helping run 3 branches before he ever hired Kevin.
Right.
84 units. That's 7 a month. Plus I had other responsibilities outside of my personal production.
Solid. Yeah.
And I will tell you, I was ready to, something had to give. Physically, emotionally, mentally, something had to give.
Yeah.
But I was the best I could be.
Yeah.
And then when I hired Kevin, it let me go from 84 to 144 units. Mike, he's been on the show multiple times. Mike Smalley, I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but I'm pretty confident he was 150 transactions.
Wow.
150 transactions where he ever hired an assistant.
That's wild.
So if you think an assistant is what's holding you back, it's not. An assistant can definitely help you scale. An assistant can definitely allow you to get more of that work-life harmony.
When you're ready.
Yeah, well, if you're doing 5 loans a month and you're trying to get to 7, hire an assistant.
Yeah.
If you're doing 7 loans a month and your life is miserable, hire an assistant. If you're doing 5 loans a month and you want to get to 10, hire an assistant, right? But your sales activity and the referrals and the leads that you generate will dictate. If you're doing less than 5 closings a month, I don't think you need an assistant. If you're pulling your hair out doing 3 loans a month, get better.
Yeah, I'm with you. It makes
Get
sense.
better. Now, that said, my one caveat, Coach Ross.
Yeah.
Coach Ross, who is unique in every positive manner.
Yep.
He's one of a kind. Coach Ross hired an assistant when he was doing 3 units.
Really?
But if you asked Ross 2 years before he ever became a mortgage banker, he would have told you, I'm becoming a mortgage banker on this date of this year, and by this time, I'm going to be doing 200 units, and by this time, I'll be doing 300. By this time, I'm going to make 400 grand. By this time, I'm making 600 grand. Everything was mapped out.
Yeah.
He was so strategic with his approach into the industry. This dude went and got sales experience first. Then he worked in a auxiliary field like title. Then he became an LOA, then a loan partner.
He's a total edge case to this. Yeah.
Yes. And this is the guy that golfed every day for a year, hitting 100 balls at the range before he let himself go on an actual golf course.
Yeah.
Most of us just go on a golf course.
Oh, yeah.
This dude went to the range 300 times
I
in a
heard
row.
this story. That's
right?
wild.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
Ross hired an assistant when he was doing 3 units. That's because his mind was made up. I'm doing 200 units, and this is what a 200-unit person does, and his activity. This dude was getting up at 4:30. He was in the gym at 5:30. He was on the phones by 6:30.
Solid.
He worked till 6:30 at night. Rinse, repeat. Saturdays and Sundays, he put in 4 hours a piece.
That's awesome.
That's how he built himself to doing 400 units a year.
Nice, yeah.
That's how he built himself to where he was able to save and invest enough money that after a 7-year hard run, he could afford to take a step back and be like, you know what? I'm now going to let my team run it. And now his income is passive income, way less active.
Awesome.
So that's number 3. Number 3 is, well, if I just had an assistant, I'd be better. Like, nah, dog.
No.
Nah.
You need to be
If
consistent
you want it,
and busy.
Yes. Like the same thing applies. And again, I threw a caveat bonus. If you try to tell me if I had a better processor, no, bullshit. If you wanted to be successful, you'd be successful. Well, if I just had this product, I've had originators tell me throughout my career,
Yeah.
well, we don't have a good FHA 203K. I'm like, oh, that's what's holding you back?
Passing the buck.
Yeah, that's what's holding you back. We don't have a good FHA 203K. I go, how many of those have you done in your 30-year career?
Yeah.
Well, like 1 or 2, but if we had a really good product, I'd do more of them. Like, would you? If you want to do more 2 or 3K, you would do more 2 or 3K.
Yeah.
By the way, that person left our organization, went to another organization, was there 10 months, left that organization, went to another organization, was there for 2 years, never did a 2 or 3K.
Yeah, right. That's
Like-
you got to take that finger and turn it around and point it at you.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
no, having a better, the number of top producers I talk to, they're like, oh, my ops team is pretty weak,
Yeah.
but they're still top producers.
Yep.
Right? Because they power through. They build a system or a process that probably helps mitigate and navigate the weaknesses and accounts for them.
Yeah.
Sure, it may stop them from going to 60 million because 40 million may be all they can do, but at 40 million, they're still making 400 grand a year. Right? So I don't allow those to be excuses, but I didn't throw it into one of the things that annoys me.
Yeah, cool.
Fourth thing, this
4.
doesn't apply to all, and it definitely applies to people who are newer.
Okay.
And I'm not going to dedicate too much time to it, but it definitely gets under my skin.
Okay.
When someone thinks they can do this job part-time.
Yeah.
Side hustle, part-time.
I feel that one. Yeah.
Look, the only caveat, the only exception to the rule is if you said, hey, Dio, I have been doing this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. 40 years. I'm 62 years old. I've been doing it since I graduated college. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my hours. I'm going to become a little bit more selective with who I work with, the types of loans I do. An amazing part-time job for that human. That's someone who knows what they're doing. That's someone who has 40 years experience, someone who has a massive following. You 100% can do this. Someone did it for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I did this for 10 years. I have a past client database. I had these referral sources. I'm still going to do loans, but I'm only going to do it 20 hours a week. Okay. Like, I'll tell you, ultimately, it may be hard to maintain that because you're going to have to then rest on your laurels from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And the last episode
we just talked about market share.
Yeah, we just talked about market share. You will eventually lose market share because if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, you need to nurture, your database that you have, right? Because things change over there, and you need to be building new referral sources.
Correct. Now, could you do this job Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and put in 4 to 7 hours? I mean, if you dedicated half your time to prospecting, possibly. The problem is when you don't reply to someone's text or phone call on a Tuesday, you don't reply to their text or phone call on a Thursday. It's a weekend and you're not checking email. I'm not saying live on email. I'm just saying, hey, you spent an hour on Sunday getting ready for the day. You checked your email. Something urgent came over. I'm not a fan of working nights and weekends. I'm a fan of being available most nights and weekends.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely a fan of taking time off. And when you're off, you're off. But the part-time is difficult. Anyone who doesn't have experience, you don't know what you're doing, you're newly licensed, and you're trying to go part-time, stop it.
Right.
Stop it. The only caveat is when someone says, I'm going to work another job while I do mortgage. And I said, as long as you're working working mortgage 36 plus hours a week, whatever you do with his other 36 hours, it's going to take away from family time, take away from friend time, take away from gym time.
Yep.
It'll take away from sleep time. You'll probably be emotionally, mentally, and physically unhealthy during that time period, but it's okay to sacrifice a little bit. Yeah. There's a guy in the TLOP community who, he told me straight up, D.O., I'm going to work my full-time job. He was in IT, and I'm going to continue doing mortgage full-time. He ran both concurrently. And he does really well, 10, 20 million a year in personal production. He no longer does IT, but he worked 2 full-time jobs.
Wow.
So this is not a part-time job, especially when you're brand new or you're inexperienced, you don't have a following. This is, you're either all in or you're all out. If you're not going to be all in, I'd prefer you to be all out.
Agreed.
All right, so number 5. And in no particular order, but this is probably 5th for a reason. I get this question a lot. It doesn't get under my skin as much as the other ones do. And I'm sure, again, like I said earlier, there's probably a half a dozen more, but these are the 5 that were most topical, top of mind that I wanted to share. But it's this question. Hey, D.O., what's the best company to work for? And it's bonus material. It's almost trying to say, one is better than the other. Oh, brokers are better. No, IMB is better. Consumer Direct's the way to go. The mortgage industry is freaking amazing. You can have a great career that is satisfying and financially rewarding going Consumer Direct. There are a lot of amazing benefits of working in the broker world. There's also a ton of amazing benefits working for IMBs. But I have clients and customers that are credit unions, and I can promise you this, their LOs make really good money, are great at what they do, and they love who they do it with. And we have clients that work for true banks who also have a lot to offer to borrowers, realtors, builders, and the whatnot. So that's bonus material. I do not believe, and I will not let someone sell me, that one aspect of the mortgage industry is better. One aspect of the mortgage industry may be better for you at this standpoint in your career. But it doesn't mean it's better for all originators or all referral sources or all borrowers. So, but that's not the thing that annoys me the most. What annoys me the most is
if you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. TLOP's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
What's the best company to work for? And I was like, oh, if you could have just tuned in to like the past 600 episodes of the Loan Officer podcast, you'd have already known this answer.
Yeah.
Because there are dozens of good companies out there.
Right.
Yet we don't choose to work for companies. We choose to go work for leaders. So we have this service called TLOP's Career Advisory Service.
Yep.
If you ever want to dive deep into your career, answering specific questions, even if it's one of these 5, I don't mind answering them. I answer them all the time. That's why they made the list.
Yep.
These are the most 5 frequently asked questions or things I hear loan officers say that I allow to get under my skin, because most of you share these. But if you ever have a question regarding your career, we have an entire service. It's free. It's actually me that you're talking to. I give you 10 to 15 minutes of my time. Typically, I'm in my car driving home for the evening. I'm driving in for the morning. But yesterday, I made 7 outbound phone calls.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Talked to 2, left 3 voicemails, and I had 2 people don't even have a working voicemail.
Nice.
I'm like, you're in freaking sales.
Yeah.
And you don't have a working voicemail?
That's off to a great start there, buddy.
WTF.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't check voicemail. Your clients like to leave voicemails.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have to start checking voicemails now that you're in this industry. So sidebar, if you ever have a question regarding your career, please know you can reach out to us. A lot of the information can be found on our website, tloponline.com. I'm first name Dustin, last name Owen on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to me directly. We'll schedule some time. I'll get you on my calendar for 10 or 15 minutes. So I get the question because of career advisory. Oh, Dio, I'm looking for a great company. And I'm like, just stop. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I said, because there's a lot of great companies, but not all great companies have great leaders in your market. What we all need is a great local leader, period.
Yeah.
A great local leader. Now, why do I want a local leader? Because I want you to have a local presence. I want you to have men and women doing what you do in the same market where you can do it together. I know that you're not like sharing commissions, and I know technically you compete against each other, but I also know that iron sharpens iron. So when I study success, the successful ones are the ones that aren't on an island and they're not out trying to do it alone. A successful leader has a sales culture that they can explain to you, that they can demonstrate to you. What is sales culture? Typically involves some kind of a branch meeting, maybe some sales competitions, maybe some sales training, maybe some product training. Like there's something going on consistently that encompasses that branch or even that region. A great sales leader also has sales support that you have access to, sales systems and sales processes. That's what you're looking for, right? Regardless of which companies I've worked for in the past, I can tell you that I ran divisions where we had branches that I couldn't recommend a loan officer to.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was a knock against the company? No. Because if I knocked the company, that would knock me and my partners for choosing that company to align with. Mm-hmm. Was it a knock on me and my partners? Possibly. Because when you read Jocko's book, Extreme Ownership, ultimately that should have been on me to say, are we willing to have a branch manager in our division that other LOs, if they go work there, aren't supported? Mm-hmm. Well, we chose to support the branch manager because he was a mega producer. But what we learned quickly is we weren't going to recruit originators for that branch because we knew that we couldn't deliver our standard value proposition when they went and worked out of that branch.
Yeah.
Right? So that was my own organization. So if that's happening with my own organization, imagine it happening all throughout the country. So you can't ask me, is this company good? Is that company good? Yeah. Outside, there's a lot of good companies, but you're looking for something more than the company. You're looking for the leader. I remember probably the year was 2015, 2017. I'm on the main stage at my company's annual sales conference. You got to think 200 plus originators in the room all throughout the country. It's me and the CEO. And the CEO is kind of doing like an interview style panel, and I'm the person he's interviewing, and recruiting came up, and I looked at the audience, all managers, and I said, if you are out recruiting and the first thing coming out of your mouth is the company's name, you're a bad recruiter. I said, no one should want to come work here because of the company. Everyone should want to come work here because of you and your culture and how you make them feel and how you support them. And if not you, your team, your systems, your processes.
Yeah.
I go, don't get me wrong. We're supposed to work for a good company. That's kind of the barrier of entry. That's kind of like going back to the other advice. You're supposed to not cheat on nor beat your spouse.
Yeah.
Right? I'm supposed to work for a company that supports me. So when I'm a loan officer, stop looking for the right company, start looking for the right leader. Those right leaders typically aren't openly marketing and advertising employment.
Yeah.
Those right leaders don't have an issue finding the right people to join their team. Therefore, they're not out marketing and advertising. You're going to find it through networking.
Yep.
That's where you'll find it. But there's dozens of good companies, whether they're consumer direct, credit union, bank, broker, or IMB. Like, those are all good career paths. Go find the leader. Stop looking for the company. Yes, if you said you're in Houston, Texas, and you're looking for a good company, I could go to Google, I could pull up Houston, Texas, and I could look at some brands where I'm like, hey, look, I have enough friends in this industry that there's a good chance that this company, that company, and this company, that's a good leader.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee.
Right.
Right now, there are some times if you use career advisory, no, I give you the good leader. I don't recommend companies. I recommend leaders.
Yep.
We have 12 to 15 companies that we're partnered with, but I don't just place willy-nilly with a company.
Because of their leaders.
Yes.
We're partnered with
I'm
them
like, what
because
market
of
are
the
you
leaders.
in?
Right.
Right. You're with XYZ company.
Yeah.
And they don't have a location in your geographic footprint. We're not recommending that company. Right? They don't have a leader that I would myself go work for. That's always my caveat. Would I work there? Would I hire the person? By the way, it's how I vote. Right? I vote by saying, would I hire that person? Would I come work for them? When I'm trying to recommend, that's all I have to answer.
Yep.
Well, it may be a company that the company has good leadership, but the local leadership is either non-existent, brand new, unknown, or has a bad reputation. No, we don't recommend that company at that standpoint because there's not a local leader in the marketplace that I would personally either myself hire or go work for. So
Yeah. No,
there you go.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Solid five.
Five things. Hopefully you guys got a couple chuckles, learned a few things along the way. And look, if you have questions, reach out or let's have some fun in the comment section on YouTube. It's why it's there.
Yes.
You can ask questions. You can disagree with something. Heck, if there's something that gets under your skin that I left off my top 5 list, I'd love to hear it from you. If you're tuning in for the first time, obviously we say thank you. Make sure if you're on Spotify or Apple that you're giving us a 5-star review. Those reviews help tell the algorithm to tell more people like you that this content doesn't suck and it's worth tuning into.
And make sure you subscribe because you will never see us again if this is your first time watching and you don't smash that subscribe button.
Yes, you have to subscribe when you're on YouTube. I think everyone knows to do that, but we should remind them.
Just smash that button.
Smash the subscribe button. When you're done commenting or asking your questions, smash the subscribe. If you're looking for coaching, check out what we offer over at tloponline.com. I'll even give you a free 14-day trial. You just have to go to the website and click free 14-day trial. And again, have no idea if we have cabins available, but if you want a cool-ass blue shirt like Mike and I are rocking, the only way you can get access to this is by joining us on our Caribbean Takeover event September 14th through 18th. All the information that you would need is on our website, tloponline.com. And when in doubt, reach out to me and I can get you in contact with the right people. Pull some strings, get you pointed in the right direction, whatever I can do to help shape you, the future of mortgage lending. She's Karina Mojica. He's Mike Siciliano. I'm Dustin Owen. You've just tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today. We do look forward to catching you, though, on the next episode. Peace.